January 2nd.
Hey Eileen, what's up? This is Lad. I was just calling to see how things are going and rap with you about a couple ideas, see what ideas you had for the DVD. So just give me a call back, alright? Bye-bye, sweetie.
Hey guys, we're called Park. We're from Springfield, Illinois.
My name is Lad Mitchell.
My name is Alex Haycraft.
My name is Miles.
I play bass and do backups. I play the guitar.
Playing the drums is the main thing, I guess.
I play guitar and sing. The way I usually approach writing an album, I don't really set out to say like, alright, let's write an album. It's just like, right as soon as we get done recording an album, I usually don't write anything for probably 6 to 8 months. Like I don't write I don't write lyrics or anything, because a lot of the time it's pretty draining to me. Like I get really stressed out doing it. But for the most part, it's just, I go through spurts. Like I'll be like, okay, I'll write like 4 songs in a week, and I won't write anything for 2 months. And then I'll come back to like that stuff and elaborate on it a little bit more, and come in and show everyone, hey, this is the basic idea of the song that I have. Let's all 4 of us work on it together and make it better.
If you tell him he's good, if he knows he's good, then that's when he'll quit being good.
It was shit. It was shit.
Tell him he sucks, and then he'll try harder. But then he'll just get more depressed and cry more.
But it's still a little strange. I don't know. It's just like I said, it's hard to create something and step away from it, and realize that people don't hear stuff the way you hear it. The creator hears it. It's never ever really. I'm never sitting there really going, oh man, this song's a hit. It's gonna be a chart buster or anything like that. No, I never think of that.
I don't write all the drum beats, so I can't take all the credit, because Lad writes a lot of drum beats on the drum machine, and then he basically just hits a bunch of buttons and tries to make it like really hard for me to play. And most of the time, I'm like, Lad, you can't play that. I only have 2 arms, not 4. And then I figure out how to play certain things that normally I wouldn't be able to play. So he pushes me to be a better drummer, definitely.
It's mostly spaced out over a lot of time. Like I don't like to, I think a lot of bands like power write, like in like 3 months they try to write an album, and I don't know, like, people can write really good albums doing that, but it's just not how I do it.
I think everybody that's in the band now, besides Lad, was a fan of Lad.
I feel like this new lineup is probably one of the most comfortable I've been in a long time, probably since No Signal. Like, I was extremely comfortable with that lineup. But this lineup's a bit different because we all, there's more communication than there's ever been in the band. And everyone just seems to get along a little better. Now it might just be a new, fresh thing, and you know, a year it might be like, I hate this guy.
At first, like, not being super close, you know, because we had just met a few times before, so we didn't have a really close friendship, and then just like throughout the time just growing, you know, closer and actually becoming friends. It's just, I'm comfortable in the band now.
I think they're 2 or 3, including Aaron, are the nicest guys ever. Really good friends, funny, sarcastic. They're like my big brothers, pretty much. That's how I'll describe them.
Hey, Men in Black right here. Everyone, Men in Black.
You're a loser.
We're always joking about something. We're pretty much always just hanging out together. Pretty much everywhere we go. Unless we're on our phones.
Miles' papa? I call Aaron Helmet because his hair is freaking huge.
We can call him Zeus, we can call him whatever we want, he's a new guy.
And you can call Lad anything, whatever comes off the top of your head. Crazy.
And Lad, we call him Cricket because he rubs his legs together when he sleeps.
Mine? I'm actually gonna alter it. I'm gonna nickname myself Huh.
Huh? Because every time you say something to him, he's like, huh.
I can't hear, so everyone needs to tell me the same thing twice. What did they call me before that?
We were calling Alex Chili.
Chili. Because I had a chili bowl haircut.
The way we have the lineup now, like, everything has come together from all parts, and I think the band's the strongest it's ever been.
I don't think about like money or anything. I don't want to make an album. I'm just kind of like, you know, the only money I'm thinking about is how am I gonna eat today? You know? Like, oh, this place across the street has a $1 menu, so I can get some food.
And then I need #1 without onions and pickles. Or a Sprite.
You don't get to work as much, so you're poor all the time. But I mean, it's just money. You get it back.
Well, I think, yeah, I mean, who wants to work 9 to 5 anyway? So I don't think you're sacrificing, like darn it, I can't work 9 to 5 because I'm in this band. I think that's probably a thing that, like, we use as an excuse not to work 9 to 5.
School, I can't take any classes. I did a 1.5 years of college. I'm wanting to go back, but I mean, you put what you want to do first. my passion, so that's what I'm doing.
Overall, it's impacted my life by, like, it's kind of held me back in certain ways. Like, I haven't been able to go to school. Like, I've been doing this right out of high school. And I have, like, a scholarship to go to school that I won, and I feel kind of bad that I took it because, like, somebody else could have taken it and actually used it by now. But, like, it's just sitting there, like, unused, and I feel like I should go use it. But at the same time, like, I know that I can go to school, like, when I'm older, but I can't really do this while I'm older. I kind of have to do it while I'm still young. I think mainly the hardest thing when somebody leaves the band is finding someone to replace them that can step in and play at the same skill level immediately. Because, like, waiting around for somebody to learn all the songs and to play the parts exactly the way they were played before so that it feels right is probably the toughest thing. It's so much of a hassle, and then if you have shows coming up, you're trying to do things really quickly. So then you feel like you have to cut corners and you don't play all the songs that you normally would play because the new guy might not know him yet. I think as long as you have, as long as you still want to do it, it's gonna work. But if you were hesitant at all, something like that could easily, I could see it could easily break up a band or, like, make people not be into it anymore.
Miss your friends, miss your family, just seeing people that I regularly see. That was kind of hard.
I guess it's tough to stay in touch with all your friends because you're gone so much, and then everybody just assumes that you're gone all the time. So when they do see you, they're like, when did you get back in town? You're like, I've been in town for like 2 weeks or something like that. But they would never know because everybody's just like, oh, he's on tour, he's on tour, he's on tour.
I guess the biggest thing was, I guess, like, just being away from my wife since we just got married.
I can never imagine starting like a new band at this point because it takes so much time and there's so much work put into like establishing yourself. But I guess the only way that I'd ever want to not do it anymore is if, like, I noticeably saw it declining fast.
With all the lineup changes we've had, it's a little mind-boggling. I just kind of always like, oh god, he quit. Oh, why is he quit? Damn it, I got way to kick this guy out. So it's a little frustrating. And losing Justin was a very frightening thing for me. Because he was the founder of the band, and to see him be like, I don't want to do this anymore. I just wanted him to be happy, whatever he was doing, the band wasn't making him happy, so he was like, why can't I do it anymore?
before I was in the band, like pretty much Park had broken up and wasn't playing anymore. And I kept bugging him. I was like, dude, let's jam sometime. Like, I wasn't in a band anymore. It's like, let's play. And he just pretty much thought I sucked because I was younger than him. And I was some like dorky skate kid, like, you know, hanging out in the skate shop, and he'd just hang out there. And I'd be like, dude, let's play. So finally, like, him and I started playing, and it was Timmy and Lad and myself. And then we were trying to find a guitar player, and like, because we didn't want to be a three-piece. And then Lad's like, well, we should be Park because Lobster used to like Park when Park was together. So if we can like convince them that like we're as good as Park was, then we'll get signed.
When I was trying out, and I would come early just because I don't know, I'm really punctual, and I would walk in to try out, and there would be like 2 people ahead of me, and they'd be like, oh, you just have to wait. So I'd be like, oh, I have to wait and watch all these other kids try out, and I would just get so self-conscious about myself, but I practiced way a lot, so it paid off in the end. I don't know, I'm just really happy that I joined. It's a good experience. It's everything I wanted. In my other bands, I would push them to the limit so hard, and I would tell them, look, this is what we're gonna do, and we have to do X to get Y, you know, we'd have to do all these things. And like, I was to the point where I was either gonna like quit my bands completely and just stop playing music, because it made me so upset that I couldn't get like further than 1 point. Like, I couldn't get out of Springfield. And then I just heard that Park was trying out bass players, and I was like, that's the perfect opportunity. I felt like it was meant to happen, kind of, so. At first, I was kind of confused because I didn't know what my role was. I just kind of felt like I came in, I practiced, and then I left, and I didn't really like that. I like being part of the whole band, like 4 people instead of 1 person, so. I think we do that. I mean, we've been working together, so.
I just got a random call one day from Miles, and he just left me a message. He's like, hey Aaron, I just had a question to ask you. It's not about a show or anything. Just give me a call back. I was like, what the heck can that be? I never talked about anything else really. And so he just told me about Justin quitting, and he just asked me if I would want to do it. And I definitely did.
You're there, Aaron.
About a year this summer, so not too long.
My role in Park is a lot of things, mainly making sure everybody's on time, and playing the drums is the main thing, I guess, but they call me Pops or Dad because I'm the one that takes a lot of responsibility and make it happen. But I also kind of am like been the money manager and making sure we have a vehicle and a trailer and a practice space. So I'm pretty much the do-all. I just don't write songs, so I rely on Lad to do that.
Huh? How do you do that? Do you just practice it over and over?
Just keep practicing at home. Yeah. Sit there in front of the TV and keep doing it. And the shit out of Emily. You've been playing that part 200 times. This part's easy to sing and play. It just fucks me up when like my fingers. Or this hand, I don't care what this hand does. It's this hand that fucks me up.
Aaron, how many recipe CDs do you have?
And we were on the search to find another bass player, and we had to like sit down and really think about what we've done wrong picking out bass players in the past, whether it was just like we pick a friend or we pick somebody that we think is good but we don't know yet, or just taking everything into consideration. And this time we tried out a lot of people, which before we had never done.
A little different. They just go, yeah.
the unexpected is kind of what happened to us. The guy that we didn't think would have a chance ended up being the guy that we picked. I'm learning, maybe it's just bass, it's not that hard. Drums are way harder.
Starting off, definitely having a musical family was definitely like a big thing, like pushing me into music.
When I started playing guitar when I was about 12 or 13, and my brother taught me how, and I would just basically listen to everything he listened to, just because I didn't really know any better. And we were all just about, like thrash metal, like Metallica and Slayer and Megadeth, and so we'd sit there, and it's kind of funny trying to start out playing an instrument, and you're trying to play the hardest crap there is to play. So we get so frustrated, and we just be like, I can't do this, how do these people play this fast? It's all smoke and mirrors. But after that, I really got into like a lot of Smashing Pumpkins and stuff like that. Like basic, whatever my brother would listen to, I start listening to it also. And then he started listening to techno, and that's where I drew the line.
I first started playing music in 5th grade. I played the trumpet. I played that all the way through high school. My cousin Jonathan had a bass, and I looked up to him a lot, so I got a bass for Christmas one year, and I just picked around on that. But it really started like 7th, 8th grade when I'd been playing my bass a lot, and my favorite band at the time was Blink-182. I was like, I need to get a guitar, I need to learn these songs. I remember I would sit in my room for like 5 hours at a time just listening and picking out the notes and just learning like the songs. And then I would just take all my CDs and just put them in and learn everything I could and just practice so much. So that's really where it took off, and then I've been in bands ever since that.
Well, I started, we were in like 5th or 6th grade, and all my friends were like, dude, we're gonna start a band, like at the lunch table. And one kid's like, I'm gonna play guitar, and one kid's like, I'm gonna be a singer. Other kid's like, I'm gonna be a bass player, and this other kid's like, I'm gonna play keyboards. And there was like nobody left, so I was like, well, I guess I'll play drums.
Music just always hit for some reason. It was really important to me, and like my parents always, like my dad just plays piano constantly, and they're always like singing, listening to music.
When I was around 16, I went and saw a band called Braid play, and I watched their whole set, and I hated it. I couldn't stand it. I was just like, this makes absolutely no sense to me. I don't know what these people are doing. And then after the show, the drummer sold me a 7-inch, and he was so annoying. He was like, you gotta buy it, and they're just trying to make money. And I was finally like, fine, I'll buy it. I bought it, I brought it home, I listened to it, and it annoyed me so much that I didn't understand. I just kept listening to it over and over again, and eventually I just loved it. And they became like one of my favorite bands. And they're just such an amazing band. And it really irks me that they never ever got the recognition that they deserved, because if it weren't for them, you wouldn't have half the bands that are around right now, because like everyone, like whenever I listen to like some of these bands, I'm like, that's what Braid was doing back in '96, what the hell, what's new about that? Why these kids are like, oh, they're pioneers, no, they're not, we're doing this a long time ago. But Braid really influenced me a lot. A lot of Midwest bands, like Cap and Jazz, Gauge.
My MXPX life in general. That is still to date my favorite CD. Just from listening to that, I just got so into them, and like I just wanted to play music just after hearing them.
I think the band that I kind of listened to that made me want to like progress was probably like No Doubt. And I don't know, I just liked his style. Like, I mean, I had listened to like other stuff, like more, I guess, like underground stuff at the time, but like that was like the popular thing that I liked, you know, and it had that style of like, you know, Blink-182 wasn't big back then, or like the Aquabats, or like Bouncing Souls, or any of those bands. Like, nobody was big back then, but those are all the bands that I listened to, and I think I liked all those bands because I didn't feel like I was far away from them. Like, I felt like I could be playing what they're playing, because my friends and I would sit in the basement and play all their songs, you know. We play like so many different band songs. We were just like, that's how we learned songs, was by playing other people's songs.
Before I was in Park, I would say that if anyone would ask me, you know, who my favorite bands were, I'd say MXPX and Park.
One of the songs that was going to be on the new record, like, definitely had a huge like reggae influence. Like, we even called the song a reggae song, like, but it's unfinished, and it was just because I was hanging out with my dad. My dad's like huge into reggae now, so when I hung out with him for like a week in California, that's all we listened to. So, and then when I got home is right when we wrote that song, which I thought was really, I didn't do it on purpose at all. It just happened. Just, you hear things and then you interpret them into your own music and just make something out of it that you feel is hopefully like a bit better than what was done before.
I mean, you should buy the CDs in stores that you don't know who the hell they are. You know, I mean, I think that's how I've figured out some of the best music I've ever listened to. You know. Music's never really been like that big of an issue. Like, I always thought that we wrote fairly good music, but like the lyrics are always like the thing that I worry about the most. I always worry about like so much. Like, I always procrastinate writing lyrics because I don't want to mess the song up. Just like, everyone's like, why don't you have lyrics this yet, lad? And I'm just like, oh, I really like the song, so I don't want to mess it up. Well, see, when I was writing that, I didn't really stand back and look at the lyrics until we were in the studio. And I think it was actually Miles or Gabe, or I think Miles and Gabe and Justin all like approached me and were like, this is really bad. This is like, really like, you're gonna make people kill themselves. And I was just like, what are you talking about? And I finally sat down and read them, and I was like, okay, there may be some undertones going around here. But I just didn't really think about it when I was writing the lyrics. It just kind of, it was more like, it was never us sitting there in this room going, I'm gonna kill myself because so-and-so doesn't love me anymore. It was more just a therapeutic thing. It was like, you know, and after I got done writing all that, I felt like a freaking weight had been lifted off my shoulders. Not just like from music, but just like emotionally. I was just like, oh man. After I wrote that, I think, you know, albums always come out like 6 or 7 months after you're done with recording them. And the person who was all about got so mad, and I was just like, I'm over that shit. That was like 7 months ago. I don't care now. And they're just like, why did you do that? And I'm just like, that was like a long time ago. Who gives a crap now, you know?
Lad uses like words that most people don't use when they sing, I guess, like in the genre of music that we play. So I think he's real creative in that sense, but he used words in ways that like really just paint a picture or tell a story. That he's always kind of done that before, but in a little more abstract way. I think this is a little more straightforward, but at the same time it still has its certain things where like I know certain people will take it one way and they won't understand the full meaning.
Yeah, I've always tried to be like, you know, I don't write stuff about other people. It's about me. How, you know, it's about me, but through someone else's eyes. You know.
I think like with and me being a Christian, like certain words like GD, you know, that's like, it's something like personally to me that I don't like. I try not to really let it, I don't know, not really like think about it, and because it's not, I don't know, it's not me.
I think it's really cool when someone walks up to me and says like, hey, blah blah, I like this song and I really like the lyrics, and they ask me what it's about, and I'm always like, well, what do you think it's about? And then they give me a totally different answer as to what I thought it was about, and I think that's absolutely amazing. Like, I just love that. I'm just like, well, and then I tell them what it's about, and they're like, so I was wrong, and I'm like, no, there's no wrong, it's just the way you interpret it, you know? It's like, who cares? There's no right and wrong, and, you know, in songwriting and poetry and stuff like that. It's just the way you interpret it. There was a couple people in my life that really inspired me. One was a musician I know here in town, and he's just an absolutely amazing musician. And I don't know, just it was really challenging for me to be like, I want to write this album, but I don't want to make it sound like the other Park albums. You know, I want it to be new and fresh, and I don't want to be like any of these other bands that play it so safe and just keep recording the same album over and over and over and over again. Yeah, two people really inspired me to, I don't know, just be a little bit better, and to listen to different things that I hadn't listened to, like different types of music. And I was really like in the 2 years between, or 3 years between It Won't Snow and this new one, my musical taste has done like a complete 360. Well, I just used to listen to rock music all the time, just and then I just started listening to like, you know, a little bit more, you know, alt country stuff and really mellow stuff. Like I got really into Nora Jones and Fiona Apple. I mean, I think those two are such good musicians, you know, and just stuff that was, like I said earlier, was just more songwriter oriented, you know, so it wouldn't just appeal to one certain crowd, so they would, you know, a couple different diverse crowds could understand it.
It's just the only, like, like the only thing that stayed true to me through everything is music. Like music has never done anything bad, so it's a good thing to stick with. And it always, music can change the way you feel, the way you think, the way you see things. So I think it's an awesome thing. Like I don't think anything else can do as many things as music can for a person. So, and it makes you smarter.
When there's air drumming going on, I just hope that I don't mess up, because then I know that they're gonna know that I messed up because they're hitting all the beats. Sometimes, like, if there's like lighting of like strobe lighting or anything like that, and I'm looking at somebody playing the drums while I'm playing them, like I focus on them too much, and like I might mess up because I'm like, if they're playing but they don't know it fully, and they do something weird, or they like hit the like. Say if I'm playing something like this, but they're playing it like this, or like they're playing it on the wrong cymbal, I'll be like, what are they doing? They don't know, like, and then I like think about it too much. But usually it's pretty, I don't know, it's pretty flattering to see people like play all the drum beats. They're just as excited to see us play as like, as we're excited to play for them.
Thank you.
I think the things that inspire me today is like all the new music that comes out, whether it's good or bad. If it's good, it pushes me to like make myself better, or if it's bad, I'm just like, wow, like why do people not realize that this isn't good? Like, so I think that I like listening to everything that comes out that's new. Whether it's rock or like hip hop, like I like to try to listen to other genres of music and like kind of use influence to bring into our music.
A lot of the local bands around here really inspired me a lot too. Like nowadays, I've like kind of don't really listen to too much rock anymore. Like a lot of bands like Lyrical and just a little more country-esque type bands, because I think that's, I don't know, it's just more of like songwriter music, you know. It's more simple and to the point, but it's still like a good, solid, you know, structure, and it just makes sense instead of trying to smash 42 parts into one song, you know. I think that, and that's the problem we've always had, like at first in the beginning, we would try to put like 13 parts in a song, and then when we went out to California with Cameron, he was just like, there's no need for 13 parts in a song, you know. It's like, if you guys want to do that, it's fine. He's like, but, you know, there's just no need for it.
Counterfeit Super Amusement Machine. That CD, like when I listen to that, I'm just like, just makes me happy. Like, it's just music that makes me feel so good and makes me want to write music and make people feel good through music. I was in love with it. I only got to hear a couple songs before we went on the first tour, and I loved them. And then, so it was just so exciting. It was just really exciting, like building up to going out and getting the CD and then finally listening to it. And I don't know, I just loved it. I love how different it is. And different, but still part.
Yeah, he doesn't know it yet, but like when it comes out and like everybody's singing along to every song, like he's gonna know it when like everybody's freaking out and calling him like a genius, but he'll never think that. That's cool though, whatever.
Like when I got done listening to the new album, I just felt like yes, just kind of joy, like just happiness. Like it just made me feel good. Like it just felt like a really, like I think the album's like way more positive, you know. Like from It Won't Snow is definitely like a darker album, and it's just such a different feel, you know, when you get done listening to that, you know, like you can get your aggression out.
Yeah. The only thing that we thought about on this record is there's no song that's named after a girl. Yeah, there's always songs about girls, but there's no, like, you know, there was Emily, Conversations with Emily, and there was S is for Susan. This record doesn't have a girl name. Oh, yeah, the titles are... We have all the titles, I'm pretty sure. They're all kind of weird. Like, I don't know. I guess one of them's called The Trophy Wife. And the chicken songs, just we're calling it Chicka Chicka. And, which is really funny because when people hear the song, then they just laugh.
I don't really see a theme. I mean, I don't know. Like, I think each album might have had a theme. But this last one was more of a hodgepodge of stuff, you know. I think everyone thinks you need to go through some, you know, tragedy in order to write great music, and I don't really think so. I mean, some of the songs on the new album are completely fictional, which was a new step for me, which I was just like, wow, I have nothing to write about. I have to make up a story, which was kind of cool, and I kind of like doing it. But yeah, I don't really see a whole theme involved in Park, just besides just 4 guys trying to make music together.
Most part, Lad did a really good job of just like pushing himself to the next level and changing like his range of singing to a little bit lower, so he's able to perform better live and to be able to play more songs live. Because before, like, singing the real high stuff, he couldn't pull it off all the time. And to the people that do that, it's amazing, but like Lad was just struggling with it, so he didn't want to continue to write songs that he couldn't sing live, so he changed his style a little bit. I think also musically it's a little more simple, but at the same time, like, I let Gabe hear it, who was in Park for a year and wrote a record with us, and I was like, yeah, I think this record's really like a lot more simple. He's like, no, dude, it's so technical, it's so, like, there's so much stuff going on. And so I guess it just depends on how you look at it. I think we kind of stripped everything down song-wise and just like put out like just a solid song and didn't try to like do too much stuff to confuse people.
It's not as technical, I guess, because there weren't as many people writing it, because the first 2 albums were pretty collective, and I tried to make it not as one-sided. I mean, there are songs on it that everyone, you know, did help write, but just being like the main person who was doing everything, I was a little scared of doing it. I was just kind of like, I hope I don't screw this up, because just I felt like a lot of it was like on my shoulders.
I don't know. There's a lot to know.
I think that it freaks people out sometimes when they see how absolutely disgustingly gross our vocabulary is. Like, because a lot of people are like, oh, I thought you were going to be like this, little sensitive dork, and I'm just like, every other word in my mouth is an F-bomb,
The rat shit back, the dirty old twat. 6'9" assholes tied in up. Real as a shit fuck.
That's why. So I'll have to carry around that burden that I sucked some hairy dick. How do you? Oh, what if it's not hairy? What if it's my?
What if they put a condom on?
It's a dick. It's a dude's dick, and it's gonna shoot creamy white shit in my mouth.
Dude, think about.
Like, I think we're nice and everything, but, like, just how brash we are.
Snoop Dogg sex, it's all the same.
He's your cold motherfucker. I like this guy. What's your name? Buy me a beer.
It's so funny, like, with Aaron, because, like, sometimes I poke and prod him so much just because I want to hear him freak out, Like, we're in this gas station the other day, and he so excited about getting, like, this Jamocha smoothie thing. And it wasn't, the things that turn all the juice in there, it wasn't frozen yet. And he just opens it up, and it's everywhere. And if that would have happened to me, I would have put my goddamn fist through that thing and just started cursing. He goes, dang it! And I was just like, dang it? And I was like, I felt like I should go over and school the machine for him because the machine's just mocking him. It's like, yeah, I fucked that guy up, But I always thought that was kind of funny. I just laughed for like a half an hour about that.
I think a lot of people think that Lad is like this serious guy that like just writes songs and is like crushed all the time, but he's one of the happiest guys ever. So he laughs and he says jokes all the time, so I don't think people really know that.
We're called Pure Pork Sausage. We're from Indiana, Ohio, Canada, United States. Thank you. The song's called Peach Fuzz for Slim. Alright, so I have to do this thing. Yeah! You got it? Someone bought me a beer before I played, and I have to do my monkey impression.
Do it off the wall. Off the wall? Yeah. I don't know, I might break something. Do it off the wall.
That cost $3. Really hurt my hand.
I don't think people really know that we're normal people. Like some people think that we're like jerks, or people think that musicians are arrogant and stuff, but I don't think we are at all.
Alright. Section 13, 14 by 6 shot up to the 6th grade.
A 13 by 16?
42.
42 by 16. By 42?
I think whenever you see a band, like a band that you like from the outside, when it's a band you like, you think they're a lot like bigger than they are, And I guess with that, you kind of expect them to be more, a little more stuck up and a little more rock star. I was very happy to find out that they weren't like that at all.
I don't take compliments very well at all, just because it's so hard to like write something and then step away from it and be like, oh yeah, I'd listen to this. Because like whenever I do that with our stuff, I'm just like, oh god, we could have done that part better. Or why didn't I think of this doing this here? But like whenever anyone comes up and compliments me like that, it's really, really hard for me just to say thank you.
Sorry for all the haggard and sounding, but I mean, you can't polish your turds.
If you tell him he's good, if he knows he's good, then that's when he'll quit being good.
And it sounds like shit because it is shit. Bullshit. And now the bartender that's dressed like a 40s person will never want to kiss me because I suck. She's been giving me free drinks all night for cigarettes, and I ain't no fucking bald pussy.
It took me a really long time just to be able to say thank you very much and the thing that did it for me was I went up to another guy that I thought was amazing and I was like, hey, I really like your band, and he's just like, what, are you fucking dumb? Or he said something like that, and he was joking, you know, and it's like, I do that type of stuff too, but it really hurt my feelings, and I was just like, man, I do that to people all the time, you know? So, and it was just a really lengthy process of me learning how to just say thank you and walk away.
When I joined, I mean, I definitely thought that they were more serious than they are now. Like, not musically, but just in general. I mean, they're as goofy as I am, so I mean, I like that a lot. I think that's it. We see these bands, or you play shows with bands and they think that they're like the biggest band ever and they're so full of themselves, and we don't want to be like that. And we don't want to, like, we don't have a style, we don't have a trend, we don't have a certain haircut, you know? We're not an image, we're a sound. So, I think that humbles us. And that none of us do, like, hard drugs or anything, so we're not, like, super out of it all the time.
You just have to overcome, overcome your pride and just, like, suck it up and play, you know? It's better to play than not to play.
Yeah, we fight it constantly. We fight the whole image thing constantly. I'm just kind of like, you know, this is what we look like. We're not gonna, you know, I don't know what you want me to do about plastic surgery. I'm bald and I'm ugly. I can't do anything. Yeah, we've gotten, like, from certain people have been like, you guys need to do this with your image, and we're always just kind of like, I think maybe our image is just having no image, you know? I mean, but that's still an image, but that's what I would rather be, you know, just like look like normal people.
We're doing the best we can with what we have.
I think Park is what it is. I don't want to change anything that they have done in the past. Just make stuff with the future.
Since the first time I saw Park and started, like, I guess just watching them, like, I always just thought, I was like, why are they not huge, you know? These songs are just amazing, and they're, like, so catchy, and, like, everyone that I play them for loves them, and, like, I never understood why they weren't, you know, huge, and why these other bands that, I don't know, don't seem like half as good are. So that's definitely like what I felt like, and I hope people get that feeling, you know, to just like, I don't know, just feel happy.
We always play this game whenever we like stay at someone's house, like where it's like, who do you think plays what, you know, and they're like, and no one ever picks me as the singer, ever. They're always just like, drummer or bass player, and I'm just like, look at drummer, look at my little skinny arms, you know, I can't do crap. A lot of people, you know, with indie rock and stuff think that, you know, whatever's on AP and whatever's on MTV is what music is out there, and that's the tip of an iceberg that's so huge and so vast. A lot of those bands are never going to get heard because, oh, they're not cute. You don't look at music, you listen to it. rockin' new song first, or a kind of rockin' song? Chill song. Chill or rock? Rock.
My first show with them. Practiced twice. I was pretty nervous about it. It was so quick. And I can remember just when we were up there playing, Clue Me In. I was just thinking, like, while we were playing, I was like, actually playing this song, you know? It's one of my favorite songs. Used to being on the outside looking in, you know. Now I'm actually playing it. It's weird. It hits me at different times though, and I'll just keep thinking that and be like, man, I love this song. I'm playing it now.
I don't know, I guess when I learned the music, I just learned it exactly how it was. I guess they said other kids just listened to the songs and kind of picked what they thought it was, but I listened to it for hours on it. Like, one day I would just listen to it and then pick out the bass parts. Like, I did it exactly how it was. I didn't want to change anything because I didn't want to affect what they wanted in the song. Like, if that was the bass line that they wanted, I didn't want to take anything away from it, so I just stuck to what it was.
I don't know Justin's guitar part in the beginning.
Yeah.
I think you're going crazy. That's what I'm gonna say.
That's my guitar part.
That's yours.
That's what it's coming down to. Yeah. It's really lame. No one called me. Aw, you could have gotten it from the phone book. Or John. Phone book or John.
Like the beats that I write that people like, I'm just, I'm like, cool. Like, I'm glad that they like them. Or like that when we go to a show and like every drummer that I know is like playing like a drum beat. I think it's good that like you can hear a drum beat and know like what song it's from. Because a lot of times drums can just be straight and boring by themselves, but when you hear a drum beat by itself and you can tell what song it's from, that's cool. I was a fan of Part before, and I was part of it, and then same with Alex and Aaron. definitely it's not worth risking your life, as we do many days, driving and through hailstorms and tornadoes and whatever. That's not worth it sometimes, to drive craziness and then like play a show for 5 people. But like playing shows for 5 people when you don't have to go through a tornado or a hailstorm, totally worth it.
We have 3 more for you guys.
I'm glad that I'm doing what I'm doing, but there are parts that are hard. There are some times when I'm like, I don't think I can do this. But I mean, I just keep pushing myself. So.
It's really not that hard, and it's definitely worth it. I mean, you get to do what you love. That's what all the older guys always tell me, like, do it while you got your age going for you, you know, like, I gotta do it while I'm young, and I'm not getting any younger, so I gotta, you know, have fun and travel while I can still do it.
Just the fact that I think what pushes me to do it is I just want to see what happens next. You know, that's like, and I think probably all of us are probably gonna have that same answer. Is I just want to really curious to see what happens next. We've been on, you know, Lobster for so long, and now we get to get off of it, and I'm just curious. Is it like, is anyone gonna pick us up, or are we just gonna, you know, kind of, you know, what's gonna happen? But
I guess the only way that I'd ever wanna not do it anymore is if like I noticeably saw it declining fast.
I'd probably just, when they come up and say that they've been waiting for so long and it's the best show they've seen, you know? Even if it's not like Blink-182 or someone huge just played, they'd still say it's the best show they've seen for a while, and that makes me smile for sure.
At this point, like once you get so far into touring, when you're home for any amount of time, you're just like ready to go again. Alex talked to me today and was like, dude, I was dreaming about tour. Like, he's like, I was dreaming that we were on tour and the van broke down, and then we had to fly around on our pillows like magic carpet, and then Lad fell off, and he's like, that's all I remember. But I just thought that's ridiculous. Like, he's dreaming about touring. He's like, I can't go to sleep at home. He's like, I sit there till like 2 a.m. because he's just like so excited, you know. And that makes me really happy just to see like the excitement in him, and it makes me excited too, you know.
When you play a show and then you have to sleep in a van for like 8 hours, it gets to you sometimes. It's a different way of living for sure. Living out of your bags, it's definitely different. I had to get used to that, so.
I'm just to the point now where it's like, I like to be home, but at the same time, being on the road and seeing all the people that we see on the road are pretty much our friends. You know, more than our friends at home are sometimes, because we see them more than we do people at home. Every show is taking a risk, and like every time you play a show, you don't know what's gonna become of it. You know, it could be the biggest show you've ever played, or it could be the worst show. But I feel that like playing bad shows for us builds character, and also it's an opportunity to play. I mean, a lot of people don't even have a place to play.
was trying